think sustainability is a set of values that can be from both like the production standpoint as well as just kind of like how a business is run and the choices in design process, materials used, fabrication, all of that. I think sustainability is something that a lot of consumers are looking out for a lot more in recent years. I feel like especially in this economy and the like recession economics, people are more and more so looking for items that are made with higher quality materials and will also last them longer, sort of like the buy it for life mentality. And I feel like sustainability factors right into that. People are becoming a lot more conscious of the way that their things are made and trying to make smarter choices about the items that they're consuming. For a lot of these natural fibers, they will be just a lot gentler on the skin, and also obviously the environmental impact is far better than the production of synthetics, which can leach microplastics into the environment, and forever chemicals or PFAs. I think with certain natural fibers, they will also last a lot longer over time. So you see that especially in the knitwear like zone. Pilling is like a very common thing in knits, and you'll see that a lot in synthetic fabrics. Not that you won't see it at all in natural fibers, but it's a lot easier to take care of your items over a long term and actually remove that pilling and have like virtually new looking items if you just take better care of them. I think also it's a little bit tricky because that line has been blurred somewhat in recent years. So you see certain fabric compositions such as rayon or lyocell, which are technically natural fibers, but are produced it's basically producing like a synthetic fiber through natural materials. And especially for something like rayon, that process is a really brutal one on the environment. So you see a little bit of greenwashing at times when things are labeled as being bamboo and like sustainable bamboo. Oftentimes that environmental impact is actually about the same, if not worse sometimes, than buying something that would just be polyester or acrylic. That kind of line between natural and synthetic can be a little bit blurry. And then in addition to that, I also think a big misconception is that natural fibers or sustainable fibers have to be expensive. There's a lot of really great budget options for all people. And I think if you just take the time and care that it takes to choose the items that you're consuming wisely, it's very easy to make those selections and ensure that you are consuming mostly sort of sustainable fibers. At least in terms of production, the production of natural fibers, for the most part, is just a far more sustainable and ecologically friendly process. A lot of the time, these are fibers that have to undergo much less processing than synthetic fibers undergo. And in turn, just the actual like manufacturing waste created is far less than with synthetics. They also tend to last a lot longer in their forms that we can use. And when you are actually done with them, stuff like wool and cotton will actually biodegrade within a life cycle of about like 200 or so days. So it all returns back to the earth. The fibers can decompose very easily, whereas with synthetics, it takes far, far longer for those fibers to fully decompose, even though ironically, the garments oftentimes won't last nearly as long because they'll tear very easily.